Welcome to the first stop. Really the purpose of this stop was to give you a better understanding of how we've changed our pipeline and testing programs really to enable FieldScripts. And so both Dr. Crosby and the video gave you a little bit of perspective on that inside, but I wanted to give you just a few more details. And so behind me is really an illustration of the FTN or FieldScripts technology network trials that we started implementing this particular trial type back in 2009. And as you heard inside, this particular yield will have approximately 1,000 locations of this type of trial in the marketplace. At first glimpse, it would look awful lot like a normal strip trial or a normal breeding trial that you've probably seen anywhere in the marketplace. However, it's actually quite different. And so as a researcher, typically what we've done is went and seeked out those areas of high degree of uniformity. And the reason that we've done that is that we wanted to get that mean result for yield, for moisture, and test weight, and really make sure that when we measured that difference, we were measuring the difference between the hybrid and not the variability of the soil. And so that's the purpose of the testing, and that testing will continue to be a part of our small plot testing systems. As you see from this illustration, what we do in our current FTN model is actually go what I call fence row to fence row. And so if this was your 80-acre field, you're actually intentionally placing the direction of the rows across the variability that occurs within that field so that you get the opportunity to sample multiple soil environments. And so the way I like to think about it is imagine going from the top of the hill to the low of the valley and then sampling all of the soil differences within that range. The data from that is really what drives that hybrid match component. And so the data from those trials allows us to run that through our algorithms and really discern or match that hybrid up to the producer's individual field that has a unique set of soil attributes and composition. Equally important in our testing program is really the ability to understand that hybrids respond differently to population. And so you'll drive by it here in a moment. Many of you have probably seen them at some of our exhibitions, but in 2007, 2008, we began with a research planner that we call the Gen 5 now, that really allows us to change the density in a high throughput mechanism to develop these hybrid response curves. And so really what we're doing with that data is that it provides us that understanding of density by FieldScripts management zone, by row spacing if we so choose to. And so as you drive by the planter, I'd point out that it's actually set up on two different row systems, one 20 inches on the right, 30 inches on the left. Now why is this important? So it gives us the opportunity to really dial in to that optimized population on a bihybrid basis when we make that FieldScript recommendation. And so the resolution that we're working with in our FieldScripts is a 10 meter by 10 meter grid. And so the Gen 5 data really allows us to optimize that planter population within that 10 meter by 10 meter grid. The other key components of FTN testing is that we do require a 2-year minimum for all of our data. And so, you've got year effects and data weight. All of this information takes a tremendous amount of data weight to really make it drive. And then you also want to be able to account for the variations that you have from a year perspective. And so all of our hybrids will be tested for a minimum of 2 years. And what we've done to enable that is really move back into our pre-commercial timeline such that we've got that data available the first year of the full or true commercialization. So that first year that we've got a product after advancement is to be able to have that 2-year requirement taken care of at that point in time.